climbing up.
This is Oakwood Heritage Moments with Mineola Dixon. Let's take an unforgettable walk through the struggles and formative years of Oakwood University history.
Up the side of the mountain, climbing up to Zion to see my Lord. I'm climbing up.
Hello, listeners. Thank you for tuning in again to Oakwood Heritage Moments. And I would again like to welcome our new and returning students to Oakwood University and to Huntsville, Alabama. This program airs at 5:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and is designed to inform and to reflect on the rich heritage of Oakwood University, an institution which has gained national and international acclaim. Now, this week we will focus on the years of Oakwood's earliest beginning and the words of inspiration which were given by Mrs. Ellen G. White, one of the founders of this institution. Cheryl, today, one of the primary methods of communication in the late 19th and early 20th centuries was written correspondence, personal letters. It was Ellen White who certainly utilized this method, penning thousands of letters, and a good portion of the letters were of a personal nature. Now, Cheryl, I'm sure you like to write letters, don't you?
I do.
Well, Mrs. White's letters about Oakwood went to many individuals and constituencies, church organizations, and even the Oakwood student body. The school at first in the denomination's proverbial backseat was thrust nearer to the forefront through Mrs. White's personal correspondence. And in yesterday's program, we mentioned that Mrs. Ellen G. White came to Oakwood in 1909 on her second visit, and she spoke directly to the individuals here on this campus. Would you begin sharing one of the letters that she
Yes. A.F. Ballinger wrote to Ellen White in Australia in 1899 about setting up a type of colony in the South comprised of a collection of Adventist families in order to aid the Southern blacks. The families would purchase a plot of land, develop it while teaching blacks agricultural methods and the Adventist message. The missionaries, however, would have to pledge 5 years of service in order to join the colony.
Now, this was a letter that was written by Mr. Ballinger to Ellen White, who was in Australia in the year of 1899. Now, what did that letter pretty much say, and how did Mrs. White answer?
She responded, "I remember you distinctly, and I've rejoiced to see you growing in grace and working in the Lord's vineyard. I would say, my brother, you would best stand at your post of duty, laboring in the ministry of the word. As you say, there is no more fruitful field than the South. It is the prejudice of the white against the black race that makes this field hard, very hard. The whites who have oppressed the colored people still have the same spirit. They did not lose it, although they were conquered in war. They were determined to make it appear that the blacks were better off in slavery than since they were set free. Any provocation from the blacks is met with the greatest cruelty. The field is one that needs to be worked with the greatest discretion."
And listeners, we have ended the reflection on Ellen G. White's writings and her speech making back in the early days of Oakwood University. But we will be back tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. and again at 3:30 p.m. So don't forget to tune in to Oakwood Heritage Moments.
I'm climbing up.
You've been listening to Oakwood Heritage Moments with archivist Mineola Dixon. We invite you to visit the Oakwood College Archives located in the Eva B. Dykes Library for a heritage tour. Join us again next time for another edition of Oakwood Heritage Moments.
Up to the rough side of the mountain, climbing up to Zion to see my Lord. I'm climbing up the rough side of the mountain, climbing up to Zion to see my Lord.
Celebrating God's goodness. Praise 90.1 FM.